Okay.
All right, we have just finished chapter 1.
Titled Smile.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That was Smile.
What?
So, one of the first things he talked about was...
You didn't know what?
I'm going to keep up chapter names.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Okay.
So, one of the first things he talked about was being, or just coming to terms with his identity as an effeminate boy. Because he was sharing how in times when he was younger, he would kind of see himself in his imagination as a girl, but not that he felt he was trans, but just like that was the closest thing he felt that he could connect to, because there's such a big divide between, you know, boyhood, girlhood, masculine, feminine, especially in the black community, where it's like you either do one or the other.
Oh yeah.
And I know I have similar experiences. I remember this one time I was in like daycare. I wasn't even preschool.
Damn. And not daycare?
It was like a costume tour in the daycare. It was at the Y. I remember it was in Uptown Charlotte.
Come on, memories.
I remember it was a green dress. It was very like, the material was like rough. But I put that thing on. I was playing with my friends. My mama came in there.
And
I just remember.
This is unpacking. Come on.
Which means I've unpacked it. But she gave me a look. I was like.
So you felt it.
And I'm just like.
She didn't even have to like.
But she didn't have the language. She didn't have the knowledge. She didn't have the information to cater to that. She was just being a young mom.
Yeah.
She's 20 years old. Well, maybe not 20 at that time. She, 23, 24, with like a 4-year-old. And it's like, why is my son putting on dresses? I don't understand. They didn't give me this in the rule book. Yeah. She came, she was born in New York, but she grew up in the South. And so her dad was a minister. And she grew up, like an MCAT minister's kid. So it's like, her background was very much rooted in that type of like, men do this, women do this. That's it. She couldn't express herself, and when I took it as soon as 18, reared this head, she was like, "Oh, I'm out of here. These shirts and dresses, trash. I'm putting on a shirt, a skirt and dress, but it's going above the knee, because all the rest got to go to the ankle." But anyway, it was just like, I don't want to be a girl. I very much like being a boy, but that is the identity that I relate to, and I don't know, there's no space for me to bridge the gap. So either you're going to be a girl or you're going to be a boy. So I understand or relate to him when he's saying like, how do I see myself in these spaces when there's no representation there for someone like me? Who is, I grew up as a boy, but no one is accepting of this identity in me. So, any thoughts on the effeminate boy part of that?
No, I remember a lot, especially like as a child. I remember probably first grade, maybe first grade, not second grade. And I remember second grade being very distinctly different. But I remember just being young and thinking boys were cute.
Me too.
And then not even knowing, like not knowing right, wrong, yes, no. It was just like, this is what I think is cute. But definitely like growing up as far as like correction, and I guess parents not knowing the language and stuff. My father's favorite term, especially as I was younger and growing older, and mind you, I remember distinctly, I think his father died around, my grandfather, his father, died around when I was in second grade. So
how long were you in a household with your dad?
Probably up until second grade. Because after my father's father died, he went back home. He just had a Elizabethtown, North Carolina, which is why I knew about Elizabethtown and not Elizabeth City. Anyway, he went back home. He reverted, and he's the oldest. So his father kept him in line, like, this is what you gotta do, son, blah, blah, whatever.
Oh, so
all
he was
that.
the only one. He was the anchor. So
Yeah.
he was Kanye. He was, what's his mama name? Kanye mama.
Oh, God.
Is it V?
I can't remember.
Vonda?
It might be
Shonda, something like that.
Vonda something. I'm a bad
So
fan,
he was the Vonda for your daddy. Like, I'm gonna keep
pretty
you in
much.
line.
I'm gonna keep you together.
And as soon as granddaddy passed,
and again, I don't know what happened mentally. You know what I mean? But he just was not there. He went back home with his mama.
yeah.
But I remember conversations distinctly with my father about ways how to act and stuff. But his main line was, put some bass in your voice. So I'm always conscientious about, how do I sound? I sound too soft. I sound too loud. So I always have that, you know, I gotta put some bass in my voice all the time. And it's like, bitch.
Which is also interesting with gays, because it's like, we can talk. We can give that talk, but we have much more expression, much like how women do. Because it's like, this is how we talk. But you get us on the phone with a stranger or a bill collector or somebody like we don't know, it'd be like, it's not like, hey, how you doing? It's, hey, how you doing? Every time I'd be like, why would we do that?
Who's calling? Who is this?
This is your left.
But I see it. But yeah, like that is I remember that. The other thing was, of course, you know, not necessarily like dressing up, but like what you could and couldn't do as far as like playing with. You got to play with the G.I. Joes.
You got to play race cars and Hot Wheels. You can't play with.
And let us just note that by the Chiles, there's another Panera.
Ain't that a blessing on your life?
God,
look on right now.
God be doing the thing. But his sister, which again, my favorite aunt, I used to go to her house all the time.
It's so interesting that they came from the same cloth.
But and I will say, what can I say?
Is this your grandmother's daughter?
This is my
granddaddy's
father's side of the family.
No, I'm saying, is this your grandmother on your dad's side's daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
but the one thing I will say, as far as like understanding this dynamic, I will give credit to my sister, because my sister is the type of person, she loves to know about the why and why are people like this. So she will definitely do some research, and she's like, but what led you to that? I want to park there. We're about to park close to that door. But either way, I remember playing with, because my aunt had two daughters, and on my father's side it was just me and my sister, so daughter son, and my aunt had daughter. So it was a lot of baby dolls around. It was a lot of girls.
And you was the
only male that was usually around, and I did have male cousins on that side. Either way, I was mostly at and like to this day, I mean, granted, if she was still alive, she'd like Sean is her son, whatever. But I remember I got caught playing with baby dolls, and they wanted to light me up, and my aunt was like very defensive. She was like, "You not gonna beat him for just being a child, like." It doesn't matter whatever y'all are talking about. Like, everybody's playing. What does it matter that this little boy is like, right? It's a story in his mind, right? And the girl's not gonna play football with me. Like, now most time I did get to the point where I was like, that is not my lifestyle, baby. Because y'all, after y'all play, y'all be stinky. I can't do that. But okay, and it be itching. No. I did get to that level, but at the time was just playing. It was like, we gonna play, and he's playing. So I have that as a fond memory of like my aunt.
I love that, like, of
defending me.
Every time you talk about her, I'm just like, she was a real one.
That's why I'm just like.
That's why you love her so much.
As much as people be like, "Oh, Uncle Sean, how I am." That's why I'm just like, "Oh my God!" Like, if you think I'm something, I wish you had an Aunt Crystal. Like, if you, and that's why I'm just like, my Aunt
I love
Crystal,
that lady, and I've never met her.
I love her to death, and I mean,
the love that she gave you, the grace that she gave you, it's just.
And even being deep in church. Like,
I know.
even,
that's the part.
and it was just like, I love you. I don't
gave
care
you the
about
love of God instead of like
yeah,
the
it was not
condemnation
of
the
I don't
church.
care about all this stuff. It's like, you're a good person. I love you. Like, nephew or not, like, you're a great person. You're doing good things,
I know
and
your
I love
heart.
you. Yeah, and it's
I
just
see
like,
your
and
blessings.
that is for me, the shining light of church, and why I'm like, if I could be something for someone, which granted I know how I am anyway. Again,
Amen.
that could be a whole nother book, church
Amen.
and gay, and oh my god. But I'm sorry, we're trying to
When
get
I
it short.
tell you,
Let's
we
go.
didn't even get to.
Let's go. We're not going to the other points.
Oh, you want to go ahead?
We'll talk about the other points later.
I thought you wanted to eat.
We can. I was just gonna do it fresh, but
Okay,
we
come
can.
on. We fresh.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was worried about you.
I'm fine.
I was like, I know you be
in my feels. I was really ready to cry earlier with that song. I don't think you understand. It be certain songs that I just think that I'm like, I think she would like this song. Like, I know she would like, or I know we sit down and we watch it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched Color Purple together. I don't know why I had to think about it. But yeah, we watched Color Purple together. And that, but on top, have you ever been to Elizabethtown, North Carolina?
Why would I go to
Let me tell you something. And this is no shade to everybody that's there. It will remind you of
the Color Purple because ain't nothing out
there. They have a strip of this is the town.
Yeah. But
the overall town where a majority of the people live at.
Yeah. My family's from South Carolina.
My aunt stayed on a dirt road.
Charlotte got Raleigh. Durham.
Charlotte got
Charlotte. North Carolina got. Look at me. I've been in Charlotte for a long time. Charlotte,
big
Raleigh,
it's like
Winston.
Yeah.
It's got all that. People be like, come on. They be like, South Carolina, Columbia.
Columbia's not that girl. I thought Columbia was that girl.
You know what's that girl in South Carolina?
Columbia is the new South Charlotte.
You know what Columbia is? You know what South Carolina is? Racism.
And
segregation.
On that note, we'll be back for the next points. What was you about to say? What was the question? You ready? No?
Oh, yes, I am ready. I remember I took a picture.
You were ready for...
I took a picture.
Yeah, but I was saying...
So here we go.
You got the directions
the fight scene.
Yeah,
I got it all.
Okay.
So how did you feel about the fight scene? Where he's going home with his cousins.
Perfect. Graphic. I think I remember like my first...
Graphic is, to say the least.
I remember my first
intense
fight, I guess.
You!
Well, the one that was most memorable, which is crazy because it was actually... Well... was that my first? So I had a few fights, a few scuffles. But nothing like that. I think
I've never had anything that violent.
Thinking about my sister. Oh yeah, nothing like that. But thinking about my sister. Oh, good thing. Oh, dang, I want to know what the rest of the questions are.
What? Just say what you gotta say. It's okay.
I know. No, I was gonna say, it made me think about, first of all, the title of the episode, which was Smile. But
I got some stuff that I'm ready to ask because I want to know myself. Bump them. I want to know because I'm like, oh, it's more about my friend. I'm ready to know because I'm like, these are things I'd be like, I would love a kid's opinion.
Well, there was multiple situations, but this wasn't. I feel like this was kind of traumatic. So it was traumatic, but it has to do with my smile, which was the thing.
Kind of traumatic. It's either traumatic or it's not.
So I was in team sports in high school, actually. So when I was like,
really?
Yeah.
Where did you play?
I mean, in team sports. Why does he look so young?
Because I saw it back then, and I was like, he looked like he's trying to cosplay as an adult. Like he about 17.
That nigga is 37.
And is, but I'm like, his white hasn't cracked yet.
That's good.
He still got a baby face. He look old, like in like
he does. There's parts.
In like the
There's
skin
some
quality.
Oh, I saw that too.
But like,
this is not what the video is about.
Yeah, you see how we get. This is exactly why I said we need to do minimum editing on this and just release like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. as like you said, the playlist, and do like a quick like, 6 minutes. The book was nice. I'm glad that he touched on points 1, 3.
Yeah. Okay, so the fight scene. No, so team sports. I thought you just play all teams, like. I mean, all sports that is a team type thing. So I remember playing basketball in high school.
See how unathletic I am.
Lord. So with team sports, like they teach you all the parts of a game and stuff like that that requires a team.
Is this
it's like PE. It was a specialized like PE team sports class.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, I'm like, is this like they teaching you basketball type team?
So that was the thing.
Like,
basketball was the thing. Now. God, it's story after story. They're connected.
That's fine. I love story.
So because my father was not there, my mother tried to do everything, and she tried to teach me how to play basketball. Me and my sister.
Really?
Yes.
Well, your dad was only there till you was about like
second
6
grade.
or 7.
Yeah, whatever. He was not there.
I'm about to go.
The thing is, if you know my mother, you love her. My mother is a woman of a certain size. While she was teaching me how to play basketball, she fouled me. Not only did she foul me, she fell on me. And like when she fell, she rolled over on me. So imagine my childlike body.
You were not no child.
I was a child. This wasn't in high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. In distress. And I said, I don't want to play basketball ever again. I didn't really have the courage.
No!
I really didn't have the courage to say F you, but it was definitely F this game, and I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do this.
That's like,
is it turning right here?
No, you keep straight, but
I'm keeping straight. It's like I don't want to do this no more. Like
this sound like when you like accidentally step on like a dog's tail or like their leg, and they be out.
Yeah.
And they be like, I actually don't like you.
I don't trust you no more. I don't
even know who you are because you have never harmed me like this before.
Okay.
It's like,
so that's the thing. You should hear my sister's side of this story because she was there.
She was there.
She was there, not playing. So from that young childhood age all the way to high school, of course she was.
She's awful.
I feel like she was like.
Oh, she's awful.
But it was like from that young childhood age.
Not this one, but it's towards Norfolk.
Okay. From that young childhood age to when I got into high school, I was still scarred.
Yeah.
From playing basketball. Because I'm like, I don't want to play. So then, because it was 4th grade, okay, I don't know, she might fall out the sky. But from that.
You was really traumatized.
Honey.
Your mama.
Love her down, but she know. She know what type of damage. That's why she don't have a basketball player in her life now in her family. She could have raised a basketball player, but not me, not this one. But from that point on, I think he had a personal vendetta. Like, I'm gonna get that back. Probably the next week, he elbowed the shit out of my motherfucking face. And I mean, that is when my 2 front teeth. And I used to pray to God, like, oh look at that sign, Elizabeth City. So beautiful. 15B.
15 feet.
15B, Elizabeth City. That sign. You didn't see that sign that said Elizabeth City?
I see it.
Anyway.
You going home?
No. But either way, I used to always be upset about my gap. Like, oh my God, I don't want to gap. And I feel like this was the Lord's way. Like, oh, you don't want to gap? I did something.
Make sure you don't get it.
And baby, my teeth had a little gap, went from that to they started walking. I had a crossbite. I used to have like a gap with a little overbite, I guess. But yeah, it went from an overbite to a crossbite. One of my 2 front teeth was in the front, the other one was in the back.
Pushed that.
Oh yes.
I'm getting the corner of my elbow. That man done hit you, and he said,
but
yes,
that'll
be one good time, and that'll be the last time you ever.
So ever since then, I was like, you know, I was always that child that I feel like I learned very early on that laughter is good for the soul. Like, so I was always smiling. When that happened, yeah, I didn't smile as much. Like I was, especially once it settled that this is the placement, the new placement
of how
of my teeth
from this action. Okay.
Now there were points where like people would catch me in the act. And like I'm smiling, like they're making me laugh. Like I'll laugh around people, but I still try to find a way to like cover up my smile and like not smile as much.
But that was one of the topics of because it has to do with the fight of like how do you feel about his story and how it relates to you and how you feel about your like transformation with your teeth?
Right, which I was gonna say.
Because I'm like, he felt self-conscious about his teeth because of that.
Which I was gonna say, yeah. So that's why I.
Because I was like, I want to know. I'm like,
that's why I need these braces. But it is definitely. I mean, now I feel a whole lot better.
I mean, of course, you see this every day, so it's like, wow, this is confirmation that I feel makes me feel better about myself, my body, my being. Of getting this thing where I felt was kind of not aligned in the way that I would like.
For a lack of better words, alignment. Yeah.
So,
because I have on aligners.
Yeah.
But no, it definitely, I mean, again, relatable. Like, granted, mine didn't happen in that manner, but like, it was just like, oh, I feel you. But yeah, I felt bad. I feel like I'm trying to remember like moments where I had closeness with my mom like that, but I feel like my mom was like really lovey-dovey. So which, when you told me your story, I'm like, oh. But
no.
Thinking back to learning more about my mom, which, like I said, shout out to my sister. Dang, baby girl.
I mean,
she ain't baby girl, but
Tammy Bell Norfolk. No, she in Norfolk, but you know, Tammy Bell.
Damn, Tammy.
They said we looking for.
Damn.
Virginia don't play. You can't break the law in Virginia.
I mean, they put your face up though. Damn, Tam.
Yeah.
But yeah, my mom. I mean, I felt like my mom was always loving. Now there were moments, I don't know, like my sister. But again, you know, and that's another thing. You could talk to children in the same household; they have two different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like my mom was always loving enough. Now there were times
like children can sense things. You sense when you were 6 or 7. It's like this guy was here. That's my dad, and now he not, and he hadn't showed up, and now it's just her.
Yeah, and
so
then you know
all of this is on her.
And then the other thing outside of all that is like, as far as why it's, and again, I'm trying to heal. It's gonna take some time. But part of it, and I know my sister remember this, it was like a part of me always feel like, oh, it's fuck you to my dad. It's because like my mom, even after my grandfather passed away and he was away for a while, my mom even came back and was like, oh, if you want to come back, you can. And he never came back. And it was like very apparent.
But that's the thing, is like, she's also saying that like, yes, I can be here to support you, but also you can be here to support the family that you created with me. I feel like it's a double thing. I feel like she said it both ways. You know what I'm saying? The first fight I remember is I was in the lunchroom and I sat at the same spot. No, it wasn't. It was that I had already set my like tray down in a seat, and I had to like get something else, like a napkin or something. Because I was good for, especially back in the day, I was bold. I know exactly why all that boldness went away. Because I used to fight a lot when I was a kid. But I would win all the time. In 5th grade, I finally got beat up. And I found out how that felt. And I said, oh, I'm never fighting again. Nope. No. That was my first L, and that was going to be my last L. I said,
not you met your match.
But I didn't even realize I was poking the bear. It was one particular day I was being like stank because the passive aggressiveness was thick, and I was like, I don't know why you don't like me, but it's probably because again the sugar in the tank thing. We got off that bus, and I'm on my merry way. I got my rolling book bag because I had a book bag with wheels on. I'm just.
I feel like I had a book bag. Another sugar in the tank, baby. The cube.
Let me tell you, the ease, the convenience of it all. I don't.
Why on my back? That's why you fell for that horse when you see their back was out. Sunk in the sunken place.
Because the way I used to look at my brother was tiny. Because he was always the smallest like kid. He was short, he was little, skinny, And he used to have a book bag full of books. He used to, and I used to be like, why do you have so much material? Why are you taking every book from class
to and fro?
But anyways, I got off that book. I got off that bus. Him and his friend, boom, and I was like, I don't know what's going, and they boom, boom, and oh my god, and I'm just rolling my book bag like, what's going on? I was so disoriented. I didn't know what was
But it's different though. They jumped you.
I didn't care. Didn't matter. I went home crying.
But that's not fair though. They jumped you. So again, side note to the side note. Let me tell you about that. What did I say 6? Oh, this one says 64. That's 264. Again, when I tell you the blessing of an older sister, she was the biggest bully. I'm the biggest boss that you've seen this far. She was the biggest bully.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, I love it.
No.
I had no problems in school, baby.
No.
All I had to do was just go tell my sister.
Rika being crazy.
Honey.
She's a true thug out here. Where's she at?